I know, I wanted to do that again.
How far back is it? Do you want to try risk going back up the wrong way?
No.
Raging River has seen some new additions since the last time I rode it. Aside from the completion of the climbing trail, Upward Mobility, Raging has seen the addition of 2 new downhill flow trails that start much closer to the parking lot. There's an actual kiosk at the trail entrance now, and that weird steep access trail is gone, replaced with a side hill, so there are no more hike-a-bikes on Upward Mobility. Poppin Upper starts at the top of Upward Mobility, which after a moderate and accessible 1,000 feet of climbing leads you to Stan's Overlook, which is quickly becoming Stan's Grown Overlook, where you can decide if you want to keep climbing all the way up Raging Ridge over to No Service. It's another 6 miles and 1,700 feet of climbing to get over to No Service, plus another 1,000 feet over 2 miles up return policy to get back to Raging Ridge if you do that, so evaluate the clock and choose wisely. It might not be a bad idea to just stay on the front side of Raging River and ride these trails a couple of times. Upper Poppin Top is a flow trail. So is Lower Poppin Top and Flow State for that matter. They're all flow trails. Upper Poppin is over in about a minute and a half, but you can session it if you want to. Just don't miss the turn that takes you back up to the top. In fact, with only 1,000 feet of climbing, you can session all 3 of these trails in whatever order you want. The only reason we didn't is that we wanted to get over to Cochise Ridge before we lost daylight. All the berms on Upper Poppin hook up perfectly. Actually, everything from Upper Poppin down to the bottom of Lower Flow State is so flawless, it's almost hard to write a review about it. These are machine built perfection, especially on a nice fall day when there's good moisture in the soil. We lucked out big time on the dirt when we got here. The really nice thing about how all of the features line up on these trails is that they hook up so well that brake bumps are kept to a minimum. The trails were flagged and built with meticulous care so you're not slamming on your brakes for poorly executed features. This is an important little detail that helps keep flow trails flowy. There are a few opportunities for jibs off to the sides of these trails, although they haven't been around quite long enough to really develop all the little secret lines experienced riders pull out of more mature trails, but the opportunities are there. These trails are eminently sessionable. They drop you right back to the bottom of the climbing trail, and they're politely divided into 4 sections by Upward Mobility, so you can session in whatever order or combination of goodies pleases you. Seriously, this place is so thoughtfully, perfectly designed. It's very impressive, and the Cascades to Sound chapter of Evergreen Mountain Bike Alliance has a lot to be proud of here. It's quite an accomplishment. Every one of these trails does exactly what it should do. Maybe the best, or worst, depending on your perspective, feature of these trails is their predictability. You can trust these trails, and that predictability makes them a very good place to improve your bike handling skills. This is where you go to progress from intermediate to advanced before heading back over to Tiger Mountain to ride off the grid. If you live in the Puget Sound region, Evergreen has essentially built you a perfect progression right in your own backyard. You can session Duthie for the beginning bike handling, come over here to hone these skills, then go ride off the grid at Tiger, then go back to Duthie to learn jumps, and then go back to Tiger and get good at Joyride and not off the grid, then come back here and hone your skills again, go ride Predator, then come back here and ride No Service. Everything you need to get ready for Whistler is right here, within a 30-mile radius. You lucky devil. This, right here, is a perfect template for what Portland needs to do with Forest Park. I guess the only downside to these trails, if there is one, is that if you're into technical riding, they'll disappoint you. The same design approach that keeps frustration down to a minimum means that they're not that interesting to advanced to expert riders who may feel they need more of a challenge. Nor are they very attractive to those looking to go on an epic adventure. But I don't think that's really a fair critique, because that would be entirely misunderstanding the purpose of these trails, which is to have some awesome flow trails divided into 4 sections to help riders progress and develop their skills. It's like Phil's Trail for future gravity riders. Now, get out there and go ride your bike.